Hi, everyone. Call me Jay-Z like the rapper. I'm so excited to spend this time with you. Today on the Winners in Business podcast, we are talking with Michael Harris, imaging and video conferencing health tech innovator. Mike is the Chief Innovation Officer at GlobalMed. Ever wondered how video has improved, especially FDA-approved video? What is the role of humor and goofiness in entrepreneurship? Wonder where is health tech going? And what is the future of camera sensors? Ever wonder how does marketing spend compare then and now? Well, keep listening. Thanks so much for spending some of your time with us on the Winners in Business podcast today. How's your morning going? I think it's your birthday, actually.
How did you know that? Yes,
Happy birthday.
Thank you. 32 years old. Again. Younger every day. Well, I'll do a quick intro and then I'll intro you. I am Jay-Z. Please call me Jay-Z. I am a AI coder and influencer. Everyone in the audience, please join me in welcoming Mike Harris, a true visionary in the tech industry and the driving force behind innovation at GlobalMed. With a career spanning over 25 years, Mike has been at the forefront of advancements in imaging and video conferencing, and his passion for electronics and technology has shaped the future of healthcare. As the Chief Innovation Officer of GlobalMed, Mike continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, bringing cutting-edge solutions to the forefront of the medical field. His expertise and dedication have made him a respected leader and a sought-after speaker, sharing insights alongside some of the most influential figures in the industry. We're so excited to have him here today to share his knowledge and vision with us. Happy birthday again, Mike. Thank you. Thank you, Jay-Z.
You're welcome. Well, I'm going to just get right into it. I am curious, what is the story behind Critter and how has the role of cameras changed in health tech since then?
Quite dramatically. So about 1996, the Critter was a camera designed specifically for the Apple Macintosh 3400. And we developed it, well, not really together, but we developed it with some of the design engineers, Johnny Ives, some of the people like that. And we were designing it specifically for video conferencing. And it's hard to believe that go back to 1996, we were actually doing video conferencing, but there was something called QuickTime conferencing that we were doing real-time video conferencing with cameras and other monitors. It has drastically progressed to today with the digital cameras, 4K, 8K cameras, and in the health tech industry. Higher is better. Higher resolution is always better if you can get in to look at the nasty gangrenous wounds, and then zoom in and zoom out.
Yeah.
You always want a higher resolution camera. We have been GlobalMed has been developing cameras from the get-go, whether it was for general Raman microscopy or all the way up to just handheld development products that work with the surgeon or with the person in the field doing examinations through a telemedicine application. So that's where the cameras went. Cameras are big time. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I love video. This is my specialty, the AI video space. And so a lot of companies are not allowed to use video to diagnose or to perform procedures. So I'm curious if your cameras do that.
Our cameras are used in the White House. Our cameras are used on Air Force One. They're used in the Bureau of Prisons. They're used at DHA. One of our camera, our total exam is definitely kind of the standard for most of the industry in the government, in the U.S. government, I should say, and worldwide, actually. So if a lot of cameras aren't being used, it's probably because they haven't gone through the proper FDA clearance or they just don't have the clarity that the audience is looking for.
And so in terms of that gangrenous wound, what are we looking for? What level of clarity are we
able to achieve right now?
I mean, a nasty gangrenous wound could be anything. It could be just a big slice in your leg, or it could be something that's been there for a month and it's turning into something you don't want to look at. And then so we have to look at if it's expanding or shortening. So I mean, these things they build a history of images so that the doctor can keep track of that. So I don't know how much detail you want me to go into, but you can get pretty ugly when you start thinking about war wounds or even diabetes wounds on your foot or your leg or your arm. So they can get ugly.
I love that because most videos about beautification and your video is about truth and accuracy and ugliness. So I think that's really interesting. Well, let's keep going. The world is changing rapidly and many industries are being disrupted before our eyes. What should entrepreneurs and business owners, senior leaders like yourself, be doing? What's the next level wisdom you can only get from your tried and true in the field experiences?
Well, for entrepreneurs, I think one of the biggest things, this is that our company's about almost 23 years old. One of the biggest things is just not stop. Chase the passion, chase the dream. Sorry. That's the biggest problem with entrepreneurship in the world, is that some people get to a point and then they stop. So don't stop. Keep going. Love what you do, know who you are, and continually keep digging into what you know. Keep track of your competitors, but at the same time, think about what's patentable. That's important. Think what's proprietary, what's novel about your ideas, and keep chasing those ideas. GlobalMed has been built on just true, raw entrepreneurship.
Why do people stop then?
Why do people stop? I think they hit a wall because they see somebody else did it, or somebody has a better idea. Maybe it's not a better idea. I think they just decide that, oh, geez, we're done. We can't do it. Or they run out of money, or they don't have enough time to go into it. They have to keep another job to keep the ideas going. And I've been there. I've done this many a times. I've had 3 companies behind me. It's a constant battle of chasing the dream and the passion with trying to keep people paid and trying to keep money and food on the table. It's a brutal battle, but it's what America's made on. I mean, actually, people moved here to create their own ideas and their own jobs, their own passions, their own dreams. And I am going to be an entrepreneur all my life. And even when my wife asked me when we're going to retire at, what? I mean, what does that mean? Retire? It means take it easy a little bit, but it really means, to me, it means that I can get into my little stupid secret experiments, and because I have a lab at home and I experiment with microscopes and I do all kinds of goofy things. Don't give up your hope. It's if you stay to it. I mean, think about it. If Bill Gates would have gave up instead of running off to IBM, we wouldn't have a Microsoft. If Steve Jobs would have decided that, geez, Steve, we can't make it happen because all I got is my garage. I mean, that never would have happened. Look at Mike Dell. Michael Dell was working out of his college dorm room, and he decided that he could make more money doing something, and he kept striving and striving. Never finished college because he kept. Why would he? He built one of the greatest PC companies on the planet. So, I mean, you just got to keep your nose to the grindstone constantly. And it's really, really, really hard. And only the tough will survive. And I hope the audience here is going to appreciate the fact that just get in and bite. Keep biting.
I love that. It's so inspiring. And I think the role of being goofy is actually really important in being a founder to overcome all those.
I'm a goofy guy.
Tell me about the goofy. How does the goofy elevate or lighten the load of being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, and that's a good way to say it, how to lighten the load. So you got to roll with the punches, I think. And if you can't laugh at yourself, I mean, there's a lot of people who are very serious, and you tease them, they'll take it very seriously and take it personally, versus laugh at themselves and go, yeah, you're right. I think that dimension with certain personalities within the entrepreneur world is if you can't roll with the punches and still stay focused and inspire people. And I think being kind of silly sometimes inspires people.
Yeah.
Because they get to know you, and they get to see that you're just as human as they are. So that's a real key. That's a real key to success into building a company. We're still building the company, and we're going to continue to keep building this company. I think that entrepreneurship is the center of the entire company, our company. And if people are trying to start companies or just getting started, I think that if you're not a goofy guy, you should be, or girl, lady, person, that's probably the better word, you probably are in the wrong industry. You should probably just go work for the man.
Yeah, I love it.
You got to be a bit silly and a little bit goofy just to get in and dig in.
I love it. Thank you for that. Well, I saw your camera was moving with you. Is that AI, or how is AI impacting the way you run and manage?
Not really AI. No, it's an algorithm that just looks for pixel differentiation and keeps changing. So it's actually a 20-year-old technology. It's just become extremely affordable.
All right. What technological changes are on the horizon for your industry that everyone should be prepared for?
And you're talking about the industry of video, or you're talking the industry of medicine?
Both. How can we prepare for the changes that are coming?
Prepare versus what's coming. So what's coming is probably a lot of different views that a camera can actually pick up information that's physiological. I'm talking about blood pressure, SpO2, oxygen, various things that we're looking for temperature, that in the near future, it's going to be a little more Star Trek-ish, where you can just put a camera with somebody and you can get all of the vital signs from somebody. That's not today, but it's darn near pretty soon. And a lot of the cameras with the newer, higher resolution, and some of the neural engines that are coming out from a variety of different super high-end companies, should I say the companies? Apple, Sony, Panasonic, NVIDIA. I mean, all these people are developing products that are basically going to do the work for you in the hardware, and we can pass that off to our software, our front end. This particular front end that we're using, even in the very near future, we could sit and monitor ourselves pretty soon. So I think cameras are kind of a big time new front end of the sensor world. There's also photoplethysmography, which is used for reading. If you ever put something on your finger, it basically sends out a signal from an LED, and it responds, and it basically reads the differentiation in your bloodstream. So these are sensors, but now some of the new high-end video sensors that we're using can do that without having to be so tightly tied. They can literally pick it up directly from you. So I think probably in the next 5 years, we're going to see a drastic change in just how the sensors and the video is working in the medical industry. This is across all fields, actually.
Well, I love Star Trek. And you did answer the question. So Star Trek, the Dr. Beverly Crusher, she has this device that scans you, and she immediately knows what's wrong with you. And then she has a hypo spray or this other device that treats you. And I think you're not talking about the treatment. You're talking about the scanning, where video and imaging is at the core of the sensors, where there's no, other like blood pressure monitor. It's all imaging based. Is that right?
Well, the Beverly Crushers, like I think it's like 20 years ago at least. At that time, people didn't really know how the technology was working either. So if Star Trek came back out this year, there'd be a whole different application on how they would look at some of the tools that they use in the Star Trek world, because there's a lot of different changes that have happened. I mean, drastic. Even clarity, resolution, AI has a lot to do with what's going to happen into the next few years, very few years. Not only looking at something, but actually diagnosing it or making suggestions to the doctor. Say, hey, I think this is this or this or this. Consider that, and they can go back and look at that, look for markers, look at things, especially like in a cancer world or something, or skin melanomas or something like that. So, yeah, we're going to see some very, very serious changes in the next few years.
Yeah, I love my dermatologist friends. They're so into imaging, and my pathology friends, like all those slices, like they just want to see it bigger, nastier, uglier, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ugly is best.
That's the quote. Ugly is best. I think I need a t-shirt that says that.
Okay.
Well, what gets you excited about your company, and what are you doing to reach that envisioned future state?
So there's a lot of things I can't talk about, but there are some things I could say that we are dramatically promoting some of the new technologies in the video and software world. A lot of software is changing so that it becomes more obvious within the home environment. I think you're going to see that more and more people are going to be at home, kind of a home clinic kind of thing, where people are at home doing things, capturing information and sending it to the doctor, and 30 minutes later you get a response, versus having to run to the emergency room. Here in Arizona, we have things called scorpions. A lot of times, little Johnny will get stung in the middle of the night, screaming out of his mind, and mom may not know what to do, so she will pick him up and grab the rest of the family and run to the emergency room, just to find out that they're going to tell him it's okay, don't worry about it, put a cold, a warm compress on it and some acetaminophen. It's instead of a $1,200 bill, it would have been a $100 bill. I mean, I'm just grabbing the numbers, but not only that, but all the time that it took to do that. So a lot of little home clinic kind of environments over the next several years are going to be very, very conducive to how technology is working and medicine is looking at insurance, how to stay out of the doctor's office, how to stay out of the hospital, everything. So, and I'm just making the example of little Johnny, but it could be, grandma at 85 who's at home and she has to make a call. So videos are very important too. They could either do a live video with somebody, or she could just take snapshots of whatever she thinks is bothering her, and she could send it up and they could review it and get back to her. This all happens fairly quickly. So we don't have to think about, 2-3 days to read a CT scan or something. So I think we're going to find that the families are going to take healthcare into their own hands a lot more than they think they have. And that's going to change insurance plans, going to change how emergency preparedness works, going to change how ambulance chasers work. Everything's going to change very, very, very quickly here in the next 2, 3, 4 years. That's my opinion.
I love that families could self-service healthcare at home. I love that.
Absolutely.
Vision.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's your birthday, so we're going to close out with a last question. What advice or, last parting words would you give to business owners, startups, or aspiring entrepreneurs looking to get to the next level?
So I kind of touched on that a bit, but I started a company in 1985, something like that. and I was trying to chase a big company. I started building loudspeakers. I was building speakers and things like that. So I didn't realize how big and how much money you need to just advertise. Today, that's not the same, but in 1986, if you could advertise for $20,000 a page in a magazine, you couldn't get your name around. There was no way to do it. Today's world, you really need to understand how SEO works. You need to know subject matter. You need to know how to apply yourself to the web page and really expand on that. So marketing on the internet is really, it can really be expansive if you have a very unique product. If you're trying to do a service, even better, because sometimes people just miss the service. There are so many people out there that just miss the services. So I would say to beginners or people starting businesses that you first of all understand your market, which you probably already do, and then understand how you can get it out there. How do you get the word out? And the internet is definitely your new full page ad for $20,000 in a magazine. You know, nobody can afford that. No one can. That time I couldn't, but we did it anyway. I think we need to keep the focus on what the unique idea was behind the idea that whoever started the company or whatever the technology is. Stay focused and keep fighting. That's what I'm going to say. I don't want to keep repeating myself what I just did. So, I think entrepreneurs are the basis of our government, the world, the whole United States. And I don't know that a lot of people stop to think about that, but I mean that's how we built ourselves. That's how immigrants came in to build themselves. Keep focused, and it will come around for you. That's my best advice.
You're right. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. The editors will do their magic. If you could just stay on for 1 minute to give me any feedback on the process, I'll share that.
Okay.
Actually, we can do that in the recording. So I know that the list of questions landed in your spam box, and there's a lot of changes going on with spam rules right now. So
Are we recording right now? Or?
We're still recording, but it's not going to go. They're going to cut it out. So
Okay,
do you want to go off the recording then? We can just talk about
No. You're in charge. You're in charge,
Okay.
Jay-Z.
So we'll definitely try to get it out of your spam box. But in terms of the process, of getting the link, the StreamYard link, is there anything else that would have made it smoother for you?
You mean, well, first of all, I have so much email, and generally people are planning my scheduling. Yeah. So it would have been better to maybe send it to somebody else so that they could have kept reminding me.
Okay.
So that might have helped a little bit. I knew that this thing was coming up, and I was trying to figure out, okay. So like literally yesterday, I opened it up. And I'm like, oh crap! I better prepare for this a little bit. So I think if you're sending out emails, you might want to ask who's the right person to help you coordinate this to get on top of it correctly. You know what I mean? And I could have done that. So Hal reached out to me like 3 times, and I'd take his call because I'm dealing with too many other things. So if he would have reached out to, let's say, Julia or Lima or Ricardo or whatever, they would have come back and say, hey, you want to do this thing? And you want to do it? And I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. I'd love to help expand this whole idea of entrepreneurship. So
Okay.
I'd love to know what the audience is looking at. And I've gone to your website and I've done some things just yesterday. So, it's you're doing a good job. So love to see it.
Okay, so get your
keep going.
team involved, give you more on the audience so you can tailor the answers. Thank you.
Yeah, there's never an easy answer to that. I've got a good friend of mine who's his name's Scott Hamilton. You probably don't know who he is. He was an ex skater in the Olympics. He was a high level person for a long time, and I couldn't get to him, even though he wanted to talk to me. Finally, I reached to the right person, and suddenly we're communicating all the time.
Right.
So I think it has a lot to do with just, if you're so busy, you're so tied up, which is too bad. It's too bad that I'm too damn busy. I think this is really important, and I think what you're doing is important. So I wish I wasn't so tied in so many different directions, that I could just get focused on this. That'd be awesome. But unfortunately, that's where we are today.
That's really helpful. Thank you for your candor. And I think you have another meeting. So, I have other questions.
They're digging me right now. So
I'm going to let you get to it. Thank you so much.
So JZ, thank you. If you want to reply or you want to catch up or you want to talk again, I'd love to hear your feedback as to what we could do to improve this, or even maybe future events. Okay.
Yes, I will send you an email in the morning. Enjoy your birthday. Don't think about work, though.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Mike, for your key points on being goofy enough to laugh at yourself to stay as an entrepreneur. Thanks for your vision for an in-home health tech future. And thanks for encouraging us to keep marketing our very unique and differentiated products. Thanks all listeners for spending time with us on the Winners in Business podcast, sponsored by Beachfront Custom Development and Impact Business Marketing. I am your host. Call me Jay-Z. See you next time. Enjoying the episode? You can check out more by following us on our social media accounts at Winners in Business. We are also available on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Music. See you soon.